Alright, this is part 3 of the study that we are calling Understanding the Basics of Mediumship. My name is Monica, and I will be working with you this week. So basically, last couple weeks we talk about overall really some definitions what mediumship is, understanding a little bit of your spiritual body. I didn't talk about all the different types of spiritual body, but I gave overall a idea. I also talk about perispirit and being mediums and having sometimes some physical issues related to the ectoplasm and how that impacts our lives. So now we are on week 3, and I'm gonna study half of the chapter 1 of the book In the Domain of Mediumship, Life in the Spiritual World, that is written by the spirit Andrea Luiz and psychographed by Francisco Candido Xavier. So pretty much we'll use the next several weeks, and every week we're gonna go over part of the book. And if you would like to buy the book, you can go on Amazon and you can order in either for your Kindle or buy online and receive it home. If not, you can just stay with us. And what I'm going to do, I will read important parts of the book, probably a few paragraphs, and then we'll talking about the paragraphs that I found like very interesting to explore. So just an overall of the book. So I told you that was dictated by this spirit Andrea Luiz, and Andrea Luiz has several books, very interesting books, and pretty much he was a Brazilian doctor who died and woke up in the spiritual world, had experiences, and then he came back and used the medium Chico Xavier to write his experiences in the spiritual world. So he talks about many different things, what happened to him when he woke up, different things. And this is another book, right? It's Astral City. It's a great book too. And then as he progresses in the spiritual world, he continues writing different books, and In the Domain of Mediumship is one of the books that he wrote. So in this book, we're gonna really discuss the spiritual interchange between humans, right, and advancement and evolution. So in order to kind of understand what happened in between this real experience, we are also going to talk about humans as consciousness that manipulate what we call matter, but it's really this source of energy that we can mentally manipulate or make it, because everything, if you study a little bit of quantum physics, you will know that everything, all that we call matter, is really a change of the same basic elements, and the way they are combined, that's will form different types of matter. And this is really a fluid that we consider. There are two things in the world, of course, besides God. There is this universal fluid, that, and there is the consciousness, or our mental, or we can call spirit, we can call whatever we are comfortable calling, but it's really anything that we see as something material. It's really a manipulation of this universal fluid. So each person will send this different types of wavelengths through thoughts, through like voice, right, sounds, and all that. They are really different types of manipulation of this same universal fluid. Something else that is important: we are all mediums, in some level or another. Some people are more extensive, they had a lot more experience. Other people have less, they feel less about their mediumship, but we're all mediums. And finally, the book also says that according to the rays we emit, right? So this energy that we are sending, we establish our own spiritual dwelling in the wavelength of thought. So really, you kind of impregnate your aura, right? So this energy that's around you based on this, really this rays that you keep sending out. So it's like you're thinking about the way we live, like we're fish in the water, right? And if you're sending something out, you will connect with other species that are interested in whatever you're sending. For example, if you're in the water, uh, and there is blood, let's say you get a cut and there's blood, a shark could be far away, smell the blood, and come in your direction. So our thoughts are like that. We are always sending out this real spiritual wavelength with a specific thoughts, with specific ideas, and then we are connecting with other spirits, other people that feel the same intensity or feel they're at the same level. So we connect with that. So this is overall idea, right? And then we're gonna slowly become more specific in different areas. So one of the things they say, one of the chapters, they say in the spiritual world here, and they are talking about this instructor who is teaching about mediumship, that's called Aulus, right? So in the spiritual world, he continued his observations, working towards his mission to educate. He has dedicated himself to this task of the spiritualization of Brazil for over 30 years. So pretty much this book will be about most part of it will be about this instructor called Aulus teaching André and some other people about the spiritual world. So before this person discarnated, he was very interested in mediumship and understanding all waves and how we are impacted by matter, or how we impact matter. And then after he passed, right, so he went to the spiritual world, he continued his observation and his mission of understanding and also educating people about it. Then he says in the later paragraph, the mind is the basis for all mediumistic phenomena. Everything is contained in the mind of God, just as fish and aquatic plants are contained in the immense ocean. Look how interesting and deep is this information. So if you could imagine God as this, as the ocean, we are all fish or plants within this immense ocean. So meaning that everything that we are living on a regular basis are part of God, right? And we are his creations. So, and he says we are children of the created, and from him we inherited the faculty of creating, developing, nurturing, and transforming. And something that comes to my mind when I read this, what I think about, is that if we are contained really in this immense ocean, that it's the mind of God according to what he's saying, that means everything that's happening right now is perfect. Because if God is perfect and I am contained in this immense ocean, which is his mind, I am perfect and everything else around me. So if that is truth, how come we have so many issues and so many problems and pain and etc.? And the way I see it is that because we are not aware, completely aware yet of our perfect being, we can't see yet the truth of the things that are happening around us. And because of this ignorance, in the sense of I ignored the truth, then I don't understand what is happening, and consequently, I see that as pain. So it's really the absence of the truth that is translated as pain or sorrow or suffering. And I can see, for example a little bit more concrete is if you think about a room, completely dark room. There's no light anywhere, right? So that could be it is the absence of the light, right? So as soon as we turn on a little lamp, the darkness it's over. So it's something like that, the knowledge of being part of this perfect creator. So when you don't understand, when it's not clear, so there's the absence of the understanding of his love. So then to me it looks like something painful, negative. But once we connect with the truth, then no longer exists the darkness. It's right there. It's the love and the light. So pretty much darkness, pain, sorrow, negativity is pretty much the absence of the love that God provides, because we are all immersed inside of this love. But because we don't acknowledge it, we don't see it, we still in the darkness. But as soon as we start seeing it, right there, the pain and the darkness is over, because darkness is not something negative. It's just the absence of the light. It's the absence of the good. So he says too, we all radiate the active energy over our own thoughts, establishing the psychic ambient correlating to our individuality, which means even though we are fish inside of this wonderful ocean, we are individualities, and our thoughts really create the environment that you live in. So if you continue living in the darkness, even though the light is right there available to you, you are immersing yourself into that view. So your thoughts can really prevent you from seeing beyond our own psychic ambient. And by doing that, now allow the new, it's like blocking the view of the light that is right across you. So each world possesses a field of electromagnetic tension within a gravitational force that maintains its equilibrium. Similarly, each soul finds its place with life forces that have affinity with its mental halo. So think about this. As I mentioned earlier about the shark that smells the blood and then runs towards you. So this really psychic ambient that you create around you, it's also attracting and maintaining other souls that have the same forces. So it's kind of you attract each other. If you are in this negative stage, it seems like everything in your life it's terrible and negative. Guess what? This ambience that you're creating for yourself is attracting everything else in the universe that's also have this ambience. So it's not surprising that You were negative and you attract negative things. He says, each conscience evolves in the spiritual group that influences its actions, which means, if you think about all fish together, the same species, we have you seen like a group of them going the same direction. So you are influencing this group, this at the same time they are influencing you. And it's very challenging to leave this environment and step out of your comfort zone in order to really find something beyond what you have. So the more accustomed you are to the environment you already created and the connections you have with other people at the same level, the harder it is to leave your spiritual group. So we are a vast group of intelligence. They are attuned in one vibratory grade of perception. So integrating billions of souls, they are humankind on earth. So really your vibration level also will influence your perception and keep connecting you with all the different souls that are at the same level. So even though you may have something completely different right across you, because you're tuned with a specific level, you are unaware of all the other great things happening around you. So each world harbors a family of the universal humanity, and we are but one of these families. So he says, we perceived only the expression of the life that touches us, limited by our understanding. Meaning that as things around you may be happening in a way that is clear to other people, it may be something totally impossible for you to become aware of because you are not at that understanding yet. Let's give an example, for example, of religion. If you have a friend who is totally ambivalent and doesn't accept the belief that the soul exists and will continue after the body dies, it's gonna be impossible for this person to really understand all the other concepts that are involved in the process of being without a physical body. Or for example, mediumship, that conception is not part of their beings, so they have a major challenge in understanding what do you mean. So your understanding of something will not clearly translate to somebody else who really doesn't understand and have a limited view of life in a certain area. So we act and react upon each other through the mental energy with which we become renovated. So you can continue reconnecting with people and definitely improving yourself in order to more and more be open to different realities and really stop being limited to just immediate knowledge that is close to you. We are constantly creating, fitting, and destroying forms and situations, landscapes, and things in the structuring of our own destiny. So we are at the same time that we create, we are also creatures and authors and actors of our own creations. So at the same time you are mentally and physically creating your reality, you are living through this reality as well. So if you want a different reality in your life, you have to start by rethinking your own situations, the forms that you're creating, and the ideas that you will send into the world on a regular basis, because those ideas are shaping your reality on a daily basis. So this is our final slide for today. And he says, our mind is a nucleus of intelligent forces generating a subtoplasma that offers objective resources to the images of our own imagination under the command of our own desires. The idea is an entity organized by our spirit, to which our thoughts give form or shape, and our will impresses movement and direction. From the conjunction of our ideas, our own personal existence results. So we are the results, our own thoughts, our ideas. So when we think, we create forms and shapes, and we make impressions to those shapes that create movement and direction. So really, our thoughts are wavelengths that are physical in a different reality. The same way, for instance, that waves for sound and cell phones, they are physical, but we are not able to see it because it needs a specific instruments in order to perceive what is going around. So when you create your thoughts and your ideas, you are also creating those wavelengths that have shape, they have movement, they have direction, and you're sending out these forms with your ideas, and those ideas will shape the results and consequently create the reality you will live in tomorrow. So if you want to change your tomorrow, you need to start today with your new thoughts, your new ideas, and your new understanding about yourself and the experiences that you live every day. So stay tuned with us. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to come back next week, like our video, and next week we'll have the second part of the chapter 1, and here are some ways to connect with us. Stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy and stay with us next week. I hope you stay in peace. Take care.